Hi traders, welcome to this live webinar with FXDD. My name is Chris. Thanks for joining in this live session. Going to take a look at what's going on in the financial markets, chart analysis, technical analysis, price patterns, all of that is coming up in the next 30, 45 minutes. Before looking at those financial markets though, please be aware of this risk disclaimer explaining the fact that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. And this webinar and later on videos for informational and educational purposes only. All right, good. So one more thing, these links, if you are looking at the recording and the video upload on YouTube, these are the links that you can use to actually join the live sessions. And if you're looking live right now, actually you can subscribe to the FXDD YouTube channel, and you will also be able to catch any of the recordings, the videos, but also these webinars if you missed them. So that will all be uploaded to the YouTube channel. All right, so good. Let's close this and right away dive into what's going on in the market. So we are not losing any opportunities or missing anything. What's going on? There we go. Good. So yes, good. Bitcoin is moving down lower at this moment. A good bull run up had occurred till about 14,000. Price is now below the psychological round level of 10,000 and approaching the fib that I had, the 50 fib at around 8,800. And for the moment, though, I think that could still be a bouncing spot. Yesterday was a bullish candle with a wick at the bottom, and I think from that perspective, price could be making a bottom here. Looking at the monthly candle, I think it's a pretty clear picture with a couple of candles in a row that are bullish and strong volatile candle fully above the 21 EMA. This monthly candle low is not hitting the 21 EMA. So from that perspective, I think there's a fair chance that this is a sustainable breakout and push above the 21 EMA on the monthly chart. Moving averages are aligned to the downside here, to the upside. And everything from this perspective, I think, is good to go. There are 3 candles in a row. That's indicating bullish momentum on this monthly candle as well. So those are a couple of things that I'm looking at. MACD, thick blue lines as well on the monthly. On the weekly, I see basically momentum as price is pushing away from the 21 EMA. I see a growing, increasing space between the 144 and the 21. I see a good angle of the 21. So I think that this fib will, generally speaking, should hold. And if it follows classical technical analysis, then I think the 50 fib would normally speaking, be a bouncing spot. And whether this is already a bounce, I don't know. And I'm not sure if the breakout will work out right away. Price might go into some bigger correction and make a bigger flag like this before breaking to the upside. And Bitcoin is known for deep retracements as well. But I don't think that this is a spot where it will make a deep retracement. Here too, it made shallow retracements when there was momentum. So I think that this could be a similar spot. I would probably, for the moment, think that, let me count how many candles this has gone sideways. This is candle number 15. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a break, pullback, and then continuation in probably the next 3 weeks. Next 3.5 weeks, I would say. If it's not within the next 3.5 weeks, then I would be a little bit more cautious, and I think there could be a bigger correction in the second half of this year for a couple of months. So that's a crucial time aspect. Otherwise, for the moment, I think a bounce, break, pullback, continuation in the next couple of weeks seems likely. All right, that's a quick look at Bitcoin. Let's go and take a look at the majors from the Forex, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen. Euro dollar is moving quickly to the downside, and that's shaking a little bit my confidence in the bullish analysis that I had. And price is again testing this support trend line, again testing 112. And this is already attempt number 3. And if price challenges support or resistance level that often, sometimes eventually that support breaks or resistance, if it's of course challenging resistance. So in this case, the support might break, and in that case, it could be different than I expect. In that case, it could be maybe a downtrend this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and down it goes for 5. It would have space to 111, the previous bottom, previous double bottom of a daily chart. And if it breaks that, maybe even lower, down to 110. And in that case, this could be maybe even a descending wedge pattern, etc. So it's a tricky spot in the sense that I think that I saw this as a correction for more upside, and this correction didn't break this bottom. Then there was a bounce, and I thought with good 5-wave to the upside. Then there was an ABC pattern, and it didn't break this bottom. So there were two 88.6 fib bounces in a row, and therefore I thought that this could be a start of a new uptrend again, or at least some momentum to the upside. And that's the main question. If price does break below 112, 111.80 with a 4-hour candle or daily candle, then my bullish analysis is out of the window. And so if there is a daily candle like that, I'll be looking for a break, pullback, continue in that case. 4-hour, 1-hour chart. I need to see a daily candle close below 112 though, 111.90. Otherwise, if this is still going to bounce, if this does break above 112.50, where the trend line is, the weekly pivot point, the 21 EMA high, if it does break above that, then my bullish kind of view might still be confirmed, and there could still be a bigger wave A, B, C, or wave 1, 2, 3 that could take place. And in that case, this was maybe a wave 1, 2 of that wave C or 3. All right. But for that to happen, I need a break above this zone, and I need to see price pushing above that. What I'll probably be keeping an eye on is from a 4-hour point of view, whether price can close above this with a good candle close, a decent candle, decent 4-hour candle. Are you sure the screen is frozen? I am moving the screen back and forth. I am just keeping an eye on the euro dollar for the moment. I didn't show any other time frames. I just am showing the euro dollar for the moment. So what I need to basically see, what you're maybe not seeing is my drawing tool. So maybe I should add more visual clues like this. So what I want to see is a break above this zone here. If you're seeing Bitcoin, then yeah, you might want to refresh the browser and see if that could help. It seems like others like Ali are seeing the euro dollar 4-hour chart. So try to refresh it, and hopefully that works. So if can close above the 112.50 would be an indication that price might be making a wave 3 or C. From my rules-based perspective, then this is counter trend, and I am focused on with the trend. So I will usually not trade this, and I probably wouldn't in this case. But from a discretionary point of view, it could indicate a wave 3 or C. It just doesn't qualify officially for me because the 21 EMA is still below the 144 and officially therefore a downtrend, and this upside is therefore reversal, and I focus on with the trend setups. But from a discretionary point of view, if it does break with a candle, 4-hour candle above the 21 EMA high and the 21 EMA zone, and probably preferably the 112.50 level, then that could indicate that breakout for upside. So I guess very soon we should get some answer, and we should get some direction from the euro dollar. It is now has been hiding in a way its true direction that it wants to go for quite a while by just going sideways now, the last 10 days or so. Eventually it's going to have to make a decision. Is it going to really break to the downside, or is it going to break to the upside? And it cannot go with, move between 112 and 112.50 forever. So eventually it's going to make that breakout. Let's see what the market decides. All right, pound dollar. A pretty aggressive move to the upside and has reached a critical 125 round level, the top of the 20 EMA zone on the 4-hour chart. So at this moment, the trend is down, and there was a sturdy break of support. And I would expect, normally speaking, price to continue lower. But considering this strong upside, that is now a little bit of a question mark, right? There are two 4-hour candles here that are very strong. If the previous candle would have been bullish as well, then that could have indicated a very strong momentum, but it didn't. It was a doji, and it respected the 125 zone, and it hasn't been able to fully move away from the 21 EMA. So that could indicate a bounce, and that could indicate a reversal, or not reversal, but that could indicate the end of a pullback at the 50 fib for more downside. 125, 50 fib, top of the 21 EMA on the 4-hour chart, downtrend alignment, a recent break could indicate that this is a bouncing spot for continuation. It could be a full downtrend continuation, but at least maybe some small movement here to 124.25. What I'll be looking for personally is basically a break, pullback, and continue for trading this pound dollar 4-hour chart. And that's important because for the moment, this is pretty aggressive upside. So that's why I need to see the bears in control. I need to see price going sideways, and I need to see a continuation. That's what I'm waiting for with the trend setup on the 4-hour chart. That could be okay. Let me double check, but I think that if the pound dollar does do that, it would qualify as a swing setup. But I need to check one aspect. 1 second. Yep, indeed, that would be enough. So that's on my watch list and could be a short setup on the pound dollar. Now, if it goes above this 125, that would change things. And in that case, I think that, we're going into a different type of environment, maybe, I don't know. In that case, it would be maybe a V-Valley reversal. It certainly doesn't look bearish anymore. And there's maybe, room for price to move up to the 144 EMA. But at this moment, I wouldn't want to trade that. That's counter trend. And that would certainly be surprising considering the strong pound weakness that price would move up that much. But the good thing is that by waiting for confirmation, waiting for the downtrend to resume, even though it looks like it's in downtrend, you can avoid kind of getting trapped into a strong upside and price not being ready for that downtrend yet. So despite the fact that, to me, the market structure looks bearish and I would be looking for short setups, I didn't take anything yet because I'm waiting for a pullback continuation. So I avoided getting caught in this upside. So let's see. This is definitely interesting and on my watch list. Dollar yen, I expected would go a little bit lower to 107.50, which is a round level, and I believe a fib. No, it's not a fib. The 61.8 is the fib, actually. Who knows? That could be maybe the bouncing spot then. I thought it would go to 107.50, but considering the fact that that's a fifth, that's 61.8 fib, that could be already the bouncing spot then. And I see momentum on the hourly chart here. So that's good. So this could be the end of the correction. This could be maybe the end of this correction and a new bullish swing might start. Looking for basically price to break, pull back, and continue on the dollar yen. That is on my watch list at the moment, and I'm keeping an eye on that. So I want to see price break above the 21 EMA. I want to see price move back into the 21 EMA and then bounce off of that. That's what I'm looking for as a potential trade setup for a long setup and a continuation higher. And this could be a bigger cycle reversal. This being perhaps a wave 1, this is a wave 2. And if this is a wave 3, then there should be a lot of space to the upside and there could be a lot of movement to the upside. So, I'm not sure if that is indeed a wave 3. That's a little bit of a bold prediction or a forecast and definitely remains to be seen. But if it is that could be very interesting. It's really early and it could also easily be an ABC pattern rather than a 1, 2, 3, but definitely interesting if it is. This could be wave 1, 2, wave 1, 2. And if I'm right, that could be a lot of upside. But yeah, that remains to be seen. In any case, if it breaks above 108.50, it is breaking above the 20 EMA zone on the daily chart. And for the moment, it at least has space up to the 144 EMA of this daily chart. All right, let me grab a sip of water here. All right, let's move on and take a look at other pairs and instruments. Pound yen making some upside because of the pound dollar specifically, but now the yen as well. So I had a little bit of a rally at this moment. Did make a lower low after completing an ABC here. Made a lower low. Seems therefore to have finished some type of 5 wave, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the moment. After a couple of bear flags here, here and here and here. And I was a little bit hesitant with this bear flag already because it seemed a bit extended. Still made another lower low. Ultimately, though, this was, basically such a strong push down away from the 20 EMA that it might be a little bit overextended in the meantime. So wouldn't be surprised if there's some correction, at least back to the 21 EMA at the very minimum, if not even further than that. Could be a difficult pair to trade, as this might make some correction first. So not really anything interesting there, I think. Euro yen, same thing. Euro yen is going sideways right at the bottom. And actually got close. Yeah, hit my target at 120.70, the downside target that I had in mind. That I was thinking about, let's see, somewhere. Let me see where. I skipped this personally, this trade. But I was thinking about shorting it in here for a target at 120.70. That actually worked out. I didn't like the overall environment, though, because of this choppiness, so I skipped it. But ultimately, it's funny how it worked. Even momentum, flag, and correction. Sorry, excuse me. Momentum, flag, and continuation, I should say. Worked out nicely, actually, like that. It's just I didn't like this overall sideways movement. Plus, I had quite a lot of setups open myself at that time on different pairs. So I ultimately decided to skip this pound yen and euro yen, but those worked out well. Now, at the moment, price just going sideways. I don't really see much interesting, any potential there for the moment. Euro pound seems to be making a retracement, still an uptrend, generally speaking, though. And dollar Swissy, this ABC didn't go anywhere, or 1, 2, 3, and made an upside again. Now down, looks very sideways. Not interesting in my view. But if the dollar Swissy, I should add that if the dollar Swissy is able to break through this trend line, that would change things, by the way. I should add that, because in that case, there is alignment to the downside. The 21 EMA is below the 144. And if there's a good candle that breaks below this trend line like that, and the 21 EMA, then I would consider a breakout here for downside, and a continuation lower towards this fib right here at 78. So that is actually on my watch list. It's just not happening now, but I should mention that if there is some reversal by any chance here and a continuation lower, now there's bullish price action. But if that does change, then it could become interesting. Dollar CAD, same thing. I do think that the CAD will make some retracement still, but eventually CAD strength could continue. And if it does break through this flag, that could indicate more downside. For the moment, though, I don't expect that yet. And I think some CAD retracement here, weakness might take place, like a flag or correction. But maybe tomorrow, for instance, or Monday, if this correction goes sideways and then breaks, that could be interesting. The same is valid for the EuroCAD or no. I think the EuroCAD and Pound CAD, but let's double check that. New Zealand dollar is in the uptrend, but riding a little bit at the resistance zone. Bit of a tough spot at this moment. Aussie is breaking again to the upside after a pullback, basically. 21 EMA holding, 21 EMA above the 144 EMA. Good momentum here. The problem, I guess, one of the disadvantages is that there is a double top, perhaps. So that is a little bit of a risk in the sense that it could also be a correction. But otherwise, I like it. And I think it's a good potential continuation. And it could be the moment where price is kind of gathering pace for a breakout. So, that's a tough call. Ultimately, from my point of view, it qualifies as a continuation in the sense that this is break, pullback, continue, and this is good momentum as well. Everything is in an uptrend at this moment. Whether it works out, you never know beforehand. But if it does break above this top, then I think there's a good chance of that. And good candles here. So ultimately, I think there's a fair chance that it could push higher. All right. Always remains to be seen, of course. Euro AUD, I think 2 is... Let's take a look at the daily for a second. Showing good downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. Pushing below the 144 EMA. You can see that this head and shoulders pattern eventually played out. We haven't talked about that in a while, but eventually did get a bigger kind of ABC correction and moving lower strongly at this moment. And I think that, there's just good momentum, good trend. This could be a retracement, and this could be a downtrend continuation for the moment. On the AUD chart, there seems to be a little bit of pullback here. A pin bar occurred, so if there is a flag like that and then a break of that flag, could be okay for continuation lower. Specifically 159.80 and 159.68. That could be a good resistance zone if it gets there. For a bounce lower. Euro New Zealand also continuing lower, but I would need to see a pullback first and then a continuation. Same for the pound AUD. It is also in a strong downtrend, but I would need to see pullback and continuation. And pound New Zealand too. And pound New Zealand was one of the trades where managed to grab a good swing trade on the pound AUD and pound Swissy too. Pound New Zealand was the best one and managed to grab this swing trade, the momentum flag, and a continuation right in here, moving down a very good number of pips. And I think that for the moment, it could just make another retracement and continuation, to be honest. That's the same for pound AUD and Euro New Zealand. All right. CAD yen also looks bullish to me, but price is making a flag at this moment. So far, this continuation and discontinuation didn't work out. Maybe the third time will. It ultimately still looks bullish. Momentum correction. Pound CAD could be bearish too if price does make a correction and continuation. So looking for maybe tomorrow or next week for a bearish breakout below the 21 EMA. And Euro CAD too, if it makes a little bit more retracement and then breaks below again tomorrow or next week, that would look also okay for continuation. I'm all talking about 4-hour charts for the moment. AUD yen could be okay too, in the sense that maybe some bigger correction took place here. Same potential there. And New Zealand yen, no, probably not the New Zealand yen. Might skip that New Zealand yen. But yes, AUD yen, CAD yen, probably yes. So that is the currency pairs I have open at this moment. Gold seems to be making retracement, but I do think that the breakout is looking sturdy and good. So I think that this is probably just a discount. After the break, it could be a wave 1 and 2, for instance, for more upside. So as long as price stays above this bottom, I think that this could be a pullback, a simple pullback for more upside. That's my view at the moment. Otherwise, S&P 500 looks bearish at the moment, strong momentum. Very curious to see if this 21 EMA can hold, because if it does, it could easily make one more lower low and fall to the 144 EMA. If it does that, then it's a pretty clear 5-wave pattern. Then I would expect ABC back to the head and shoulders pattern here to this level, make a head and shoulders like that, 3-wave up, and then bounce at this level for a move down again. Ripple and Ethereum looking pretty bearish, even more so than the Bitcoin, in the sense that price has fallen even more than the major, let's say, the number one crypto, Bitcoin. Alrighty, so that was a quick review. About a half an hour we're into the session. Let me check if there are any questions. Okay. Let's see. Velislav is saying elections is coming in Great Britain. It is worth to consider that. It's an interesting perspective. I haven't seen any. I haven't looked at the Brexit news that much. Actually, it's a good thing that you remind me. I know that there was a leadership contest. I see that that there's UK is hit with a recession warning as Brexit battle builds in Parliament. I see in the news. I'm not sure where you got what you mean with the election is coming. Do you mean there is a general election coming? I haven't been following it that much. Anyhow, I'll take a look at that. If you have more info, let me know. Ali is asking, a general election is coming. Okay, that's very interesting. I knew that there was a leadership contest for the Conservative Party, and that there are two candidates. Johnson, of course, Boris Johnson, and I believe Hunt is the second candidate, if I remember correctly. I hope I do. And I thought that outcome is coming soon. I think that is going to be released and announced in the next couple of days. I thought somewhere in the around 20th of July, I thought maybe 23rd or 22nd or something like that. So that is coming. I didn't know about I'm not sure if there's a general election. I didn't catch that. Maybe I missed that. But I think maybe you're referring to the leadership contest in the Conservative Party. Anyhow, definitely, whatever the case, pound is always vulnerable to any Brexit news, and that will probably stay the same for another, as long as there's a resolution. And this has lasted already for 3 years now. Yeah, that long. It's amazing. Indeed, time flies. It was June 2016, I think, that vote happened on the Brexit. Can you imagine? So, and still definitely a couple of months left. October is the next deadline. Ali is asking, what fib is the pound yen now? All right, pound yen is at 88. Deep fib. Could be ABC zigzag and bouncing spot. So, and of course, this has really been over quite, the trend is pushed very far. So some type of correction might not be strange at this spot. Yes, that is my original thought, that this could be wave 2. But of course, pound weakness could change that. There's a lot of pound weakness. But generally speaking, yes, I am expecting also a yen weakness cycle. And that also is valid for the dollar yen, with a potential wave 1, 2 here. Like this. Like this. And so that, if that is a bouncing spot and it is the end of wave 2, could mean, if it is a wave 3, a lot of yen weakness. But of course, that still remains to be seen. That's a bold early, kind of forecast. Let me say it this way. Ali, is asking what kind of target I have on gold. And that is correct. I am looking at 1538 myself, not 1438. That is true. I mean, 1438 is here. It could be okay. It's like aiming for the previous tops. Conservative idea. But I think indeed 1538 is possible. It's like it would be kind of like more of a long-term position, probably, maybe even, because it would be indicating that there is a break, pullback, continue up to that next target there. Based on this momentum, and this trend and this box, I think, usually speaking, it should have enough energy and impulsiveness to make that move up. So, and hit the minus 61.8 fib. I think if I put the fib on, let me take this fib off and put the fib on, if I remember correctly, on this one. There should be a minus 61.8 target. There we go. It's a little bit higher, but anyhow, that's basically what I'm aiming for. Catherine is adding that she's from the UK and doesn't know about a general election as yet, but did add that next Tuesday there is that leadership contest. That's what I was expecting. Indeed, somewhere around the, I guess that's the 23rd, isn't it? Yes, that is the 23rd indeed. Neely is asking, is commenting, is adding that the general election could be in 2020. I think that eventually there is going to be a regular scheduled general election. I thought the regular scheduled one was 2021, but I might be wrong on that. That's just a guess. Let's see. Ali's asking, but if wave 5 could not be longer than wave 3. Well, the question is 1275. Let's see. This wave 3 is, if it's 1275 up to 1445, no, 1440, 1437. So 1439. Okay, so that is about 25, 164? 164 plus this is about 164 plus 1380-ish is 1540. It is, by the way, the rule is that the wave 3 may not be the shortest, but it doesn't have to be. It's not a rule that it must be the longest. It is usually the longest, but it is not a rule. So wave 5 could go beyond that. The rule is that the wave 3 may not be the shortest, but typically it is the longest. If it does go to 1538, I think wave 5 and 3 would be the same, but ultimately, even if this wave 5 doesn't reach that target, I would still suspect that even if this is a 4 and 5 that goes here, that this is not completing a wave 3 as yet. If this is, I think that, or let me say it this way, if that does complete a wave 3, then there's still a wave 4 and one more wave 5 left, in my view. So if this is wave 1, 2, and this is a 3, right? That wave 3 could be completed after this, but then there should still be a wave 4 and 5. And then typically this wave 4 is a bouncing spot. So in that scenario, I think it's still good. Actually, if this is a wave 3, then this could, basically make a wave 4, 5, wave 4, 5, and then a bigger wave 4, 5. So I think there's plenty of space from this perspective to the upside. I might be wrong, but that's of course, obviously, everything is a question mark, but I have confidence in that target personally. And I think it's a fair target because of the momentum. So now this could be an A, B, C, D, E. I think for the moment, though, I am leaning towards A, B, C, and this being a wave 1, 2, and this being a 3. So if that is a wave 3, that's my main kind of thought from here to here. Then typically it could go to 1658, for instance. So this could be a wave 4, 5, but the wave 5 maybe could be extended, or I don't know, maybe this is not even a finished 3. Maybe this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish 3, 4, 5 to finish that bigger wave 3. This being 1, 2, 3, like that. And then a wave 4. So yeah, then from this perspective, 1538 should be doable if this is a wave 3. We could even go beyond that to this minus 61 per day target. Now, if it's an ABC instead, if this is an ABC, sorry. There we go. If this is wave A and this is a C, then yes, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in that case, playing devil's advocate, it could stop at 1464. It's possible. But even a wave C can easily go to the minus 61 per day target, and in that case, the target will be hit too. So only in the case that there's a very short wave C that only goes to the minus 272 target, then this would fail. In that case, if price does show a lot of struggle after breaking, but shows struggle here, I will probably think about some trade management. Depends on how it struggles here. All right, euro dollar has a bearish bias if it crosses 1200. Indeed, 1.12. Indeed, with 4-hour closing below it. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's it. That's what I'm thinking. Indeed. All right. So yeah, interesting developments. I think interesting your dollar chart, and if it does move up, I think it could be either, as I said, a wave 3 or C. If it is a wave C, it will maybe bounce here and make a head and shoulders like this. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then still move lower. Or if it then bounces with more strength, it could be that this is one correction and up, and go to 114.50, 115, 114.50, 114.50, 115. And of course, if there's a daily candle that does push through this support trend line, then more downside to 111, and then even maybe down to 110. On the weekly chart, I am leaning towards more upside because of this bullish candle. This is the 7th candle that hasn't broken the double bottom pattern. And from a time pattern point of view, I thought that it is time for a larger correction, and specifically after last week's weekly candle. But nothing is a guarantee. Also, last month was a bullish candle that broke above the falling wedge, and I thought that this was the end of the swing here and a time for a correction as well. Those are all arguments, I think, solid arguments in favor of upside, but you never know. I mean, that's how the technical's looking like, but if some fundamental things are pushing it down, then I would just wait for that confirmation through this daily candle or 4-hour candle that can push through 112 indeed. That will certainly change things a little bit in the sense that I would expect price to move down to this bottom at this moment. All right, so my view is still fundamentally still not fundamentally from a technical point of view. Sorry, still bullish. As you can see, a lot of arguments, but price is not confirming that yet, and it's showing a lot of bearish price action. So it is certainly not going into the direction that I expected yet. And 112, 112.50 will be key levels for either way. All right, that's, I guess, it for the moment. Thanks for joining. We're going to be back soon with more webinars with FXDD, of course. I think that Nenad has one next week. I will take a small break next week, but I'll be back in August with more webinars. And Nenad and myself, of course, if you're looking for the videos, you can join also and subscribe to the FXDD YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. Or, as I said, those links, you can join to see the live webinars as well. At the beginning, I showed those links. And see you all very soon. All right? Have a good trading. Cheers.